when you feel sadness, disappointment, frustration, longing, jealousy, when you feel things that are like kind of sticky and hard to get through, then those are the things that need time to process. But we live in such a fast-paced world right now, with our phones, everything being at the touch of a button, that's what we expect from ourselves. So we expect that we will be able to go from feeling to response and not take a beat. And that's just not how the nervous system works. Our nervous system is different than the hard drive of a computer. Our nervous system needs pause, stillness, space. And what's funny is people often say that they don't have the time, but time is I don't want to say time isn't real, because it doesn't really fit in with reality, right? Like if you have a job and you're not there on time, you could lose your job, and then you're losing your source of income, which is a source of joy, truly, to be able to pay your bills, to be able to live. That brings me joy, you know. So I'm not going to say that time is irrelevant. However, how we spend our time, the things that we perceive as rewards, those things we can shift. And then if we do that, we won't feel like we're missing out on something, and we'll also be getting the things in that are most needed, that are very simple and fundamental, like pausing, breathing more often. So my example for this video is scrolling. I think everybody can relate to this, whether you use Instagram, Reddit, Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter. Twitter is the X of X. You know, whatever it is, everybody, I feel like at this point, I don't want, everybody's the term not to use. The majority have a vice, some sort of scrolling vice. Maybe you lock yourself in the bathroom so you can do it. If you've got kids, maybe you go into a closet at work and, take a little extra time to get something from it. Whatever it is, we all have those moments where we're scrolling. And if we replaced not even all those moments, meet yourself where you're at, right? Like, don't completely cut yourself off from the scrolling, because maybe then, the cold turkey thing, but be conscious, be aware, and one of those times that you would normally go to scroll, instead, put the phone down and just be. Set a quick timer, actually, on your phone. Set a timer for 1 minute, 2 minutes. That's how long you would have let yourself scroll for. You might have even let yourself scroll for 5 minutes, but it feels like 2 minutes. Set a timer for 2 minutes, and in those 2 minutes, just exist. Just breathe. You can do it with your eyes closed. You can do it with your eyes open. Just stand or sit and exist. And then, the more that your nervous system starts to trust that you will take that time that it needs, because it needs it. It's just innate in a nervous system. Again, a nervous system is not a machine. It is a nervous system. It has different components to it, and they need some stillness. And not just when you're sleeping, because a lot of other things are happening when you're sleeping. You have cells that are repairing themselves and cells that are eating away other ones so that they don't form disease. There's so much already happening when we're sleeping. And plus we go to another realm. Again, that's another discussion for another time. But sleep every night, some of us aren't even getting enough of that. So we also need moments throughout the day that we're not pausing to scroll through something, because that's not a real pause. Their nervous system can't differentiate between real life and that. So we need moments where we're just intentionally present, pausing, and breathing. 1 whole minute, 2 whole minutes. And it'll go from you doing it once a day to, instead of scrolling, I just was present 3 times, 5 times in a day. It's insane how it happens. But it's not. It makes sense. Whatever we do consistently is becomes a pattern, becomes a habit, and we just do it unconsciously then. That's how this scrolling thing happened. It became an unconscious habit. Let's let pausing and just being present and breathing become an unconscious habit. I think that sounds like a great goal. That is where I wanted to leave off, but I kind of wanted to bring this back full circle here. In the beginning, I was referencing the video before where we're talking about the feeling, the reaction, the response, and how we need that, and then the nurturing, how we need that pause after the feeling. And this whole video is to show you that if you create a pause intentionally during a time in your day when maybe you aren't feeling those high pressure emotions, those feelings that trigger a reaction, if you are practicing during times that you're not already in the shit, so to speak, then it's going to become easier. It will bleed into other parts of your life. It's inevitable. When you make that a daily practice intentionally every single day, it might take a year. If you're doing it once a day for 2 minutes, it might take a year to all of a sudden realize, that used to really frustrate me when somebody would make that noise. And now I don't even notice it, right? And giving gratitude to those 2 minutes of stillness. Because sometimes we come to these things like, oh wow, that noise doesn't bother me anymore. And we just brush it off like it's any old thing. Well, when that noise did bother you, you really let it bother you. You were like, oh my God, if he clicks his pen one more freaking time, I'm going to take him and his pen, I'm going to stab that pen into his hand off the side of a cliff, and then let's see who's clicking the pen. See how intense I can get about what bothered me? And then I'm going to take 2 minutes a day and breathe intentionally, and after a year, that noise isn't going to bother me anymore. And I'm just going to be like, oh, remember when that used to bother me? That's funny. How about we take some time to pause and be like, that noise used to bother me, and it doesn't anymore. Like right now that I'm focusing on it, it could still bother me if I let it, but I'm not going to let it. And celebrate yourself in that moment. But yeah, that's what I just wanted to include at the end there, is that it will bleed into other parts of your life. It's inevitable. So we'll start with this daily practice of 2 minutes a day. When you feel it, when you pull your phone out to scroll, set a 2-minute timer instead. Go to your watch instead and set a 2-minute timer and breathe. Or look around and breathe. Close your eyes and breathe. And then, if you see this video and you do that, leave a comment down below and let me know after however long if you notice a difference in anything. I believe the breath is the key to so many things. So there's a possibility nobody but Patrick will watch this, and I appreciate you, Patrick. You're starring in my video right now. Well, your name is. Thank you for wanting me to do this, because it feels good, even just to get it out. All right, goodbye to anybody that sees this. I send you love. I know that you are competent, able to do this, to take a pause. You are able to do this. And I'm with you.